Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I am doing wonderful. Terry, how are you? Good to have you back.
Wonderful day.
Miss having you here.
Yes.
I don't like not having you in the studio.
Oh, really? Wow.
I do not.
Thank you.
I do not. As fun as we have sometimes, you know, you're my. How would I describe this? You're my guy.
Okay, you don't mind me calling you sperm now and then? That doesn't offend you?
Oh, God, no, it's all good. It's all good. Right. Look, you know what, Terry? I would ask you how yesterday went for you and what you did, but I just want to go straight into the Tigers deadline.
That's okay.
No, I do. But this is a special day, right? Al Avila, our good friend Al Avila, a good friend of the show.
I'm sure he'll be a guest anytime soon.
He'll be a guest very soon on the show. He did a fantastic job yesterday. You know why, Terry? He traded Robbie Grossman, and he traded Michael Fulmer, and he got nothing. And you know what? Nothing is better than what he's typically gotten you over the last few years.
What did you expect to get from Robbie Grossman?
Oh, nothing. I'm not even mad. I'm not even remotely frustrated with the trades, by the way. It is just, this is the same old. Have you watched the players they got in return?
Well, I know the left-handed pitcher has command problems.
And the right-handed pitcher, who they supposedly want to develop into a relief pitcher, has an ERA over 7 right now. And the guy looks like he should be working on a cornfield.
That's not good.
No. But, having said that, I'm actually not even mad at the trades. And what I'm mad about this morning is they could have done so much more, and they left a lot on the table yesterday. When you go into the trade deadline in baseball, Terry, you're not just trading players, you're renting them, right? Typically, contract expiring, which the Fulmer situation is, you're trading a contract. You're trading him to a team that believes they can get over the top.
Right.
Now, here's where I get frustrated there. I gotta stand up for this.
Are you gonna squat?
I'm really trying not to rage right now. It's burning inside me. But the San Diego Padres. Do you know how they acquired Fernando Tatis Jr.?
Educate me.
They traded. Do you remember Shields, the pitcher?
I do.
They traded Shields for Fernando Tatis when he was a prospect. They developed him. Superstar right
now. So Tatis was a nobody
who went to the Padres.
A somebody.
Yes. They signed Manny Machado, and now they trade for Juan Soto. Now, if you guys don't know where San Diego is, it's out in California. It's really, really southern California. Nobody gives a rip about San Diego. Nobody visits San Diego. Hell, the San Diego Chargers left San Diego because nobody likes San Diego. And it's irrelevant. And they moved to LA. And they somehow in San Diego have 3 of the top 17, 20, 22 players in baseball. And they just traded their whole farm system while still having a competitive roster.
Right.
For Juan Soto, who if they sign to a mega deal, let's say 10 years, $500 million, well, they have him locked up, Fernando Tatis. And you have, outside of what the Angels have, arguably the best hitting duo in all of baseball. And what do the Tigers have? We have Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera is batting 276? And he's leading the team by 50 points.
You got Jonathan Scope.
And Jonathan Scope, Candelario, a bunch of fucking scrubs. And you know what? You know what's funny, Terry? Adam, you asked a fair question. Adam, what'd you expect to get out of Robbie Grossman? Yes. Nothing. You know why? Because that fat fuck is the one who signed it. Al Avila is the one who signed that scrub. And you know what he traded him for? Nothing. Why? Because the player sucks. Michael Fulmer, 2-3 years late on that one, buddy. 8 years now. Over 8 years.
And you know who's gonna haunt the Tigers? Michael Fulmer.
He's gonna go out. He's gonna win reliever of the year. He may win a Cy Young. I am so fed up.
He may not win a Cy Young, but he'll probably have a 0.50 ERA against the Tigers.
This kills me, man. This is the same Tigers team for 8 years now. I've been told we're rebuilding. We're almost there. We're getting there. Everything's good. It's not good. Everything's not okay. And Chris Ilitch, fuck you, by the way. And I'll tell you why. I could at least respect you a little bit if you would have the balls mid-season to get rid of this bum. But no, you let him go into the deadline. What if I told you, Terry, that there was a GM out there who could walk into the Tigers situation yesterday and trade a Tark Scoop? And dare I say, trade Javi Baez. Let's say he made a few deals. Javi Baez not so realistic given the contract, but hey, let's, for argument's sake. And I told you that you got an abundance of talent for those players. You got some good deals where those kids, a year, 2 years from now, will be, dare I say, one of them will be a star in baseball. When have the Tigers ever gotten a star?
Can I give you a name?
Traded for Miguel Cabrera? Anything else?
Why don't they get Theo Epstein to run the team?
If I was Epstein, why would I want a job where Chris Ilitch is in charge? The guy's given him 8 years. He's done nothing. I don't want to hear people complaining about Carlos Correa. We didn't pay him the extra $10 million. We settled for Baez. If Correa was here, you would be just as bad of a team.
Well, Epstein, Boston Red Sox hadn't won a World Series in 100-something years. The Cubs didn't. He has revived two, I'm not going to call them terrible franchise, but franchise that hadn't won championships. So why not take a swing at it?
I mean, you can definitely take a swing, but Terry, you know what the sad reality is after yesterday? The sad reality is, no matter what you do, let's say I give you everything you ask for. Let's say you want a new owner. Let's say you want a new GM. It doesn't matter. Let me tell you why. It's not going to matter for at least 2 years. This team is irrelevant for another 2 whole seasons. And there's not a signing you can make in the offseason. There's not multiple signings or trades you can make where you convince me, oh, you're going to be central contenders next year, or dare I say the year after. This is a 2-year process, on top of the 8 years we've already wasted with Al Avila. And I'm not sure why me as a GM, I would be interested in Detroit when since 1984 I can't even tell you on my right hand how many players they have developed, positional players they've developed.
Brother, I'll take 2 years. I think it's going to be longer than that. Because the thing that I propose is, you always say you're supposed to build franchises with young players through the draft, smart free agent signings. I'm wondering if the Tigers, and the reason I say this, I don't think this fan base can go through another 5 years of being in 4th and 5th place in the division without going crazy. So one thing I'm curious about, maybe the Tigers need to build in the wrong way. And the wrong way is, quote unquote, just signing high price guys.
Is it though?
Huh?
Is it though?
It's what I'm told. It may not be in this situation. No.
Who told you? Who told you this?
It's just,
look at the Mets. The Mets have an owner. He takes over. He says, this is my baseball team. I am going to spend as I want. I am going to get the players I want. And I will pay the damn luxury tax. Because I want this team to be relevant, successful. That's exactly what the Mets are right now. It's not the only way. That's the beautiful thing about sports. There's multiple ways to build a championship team. You saw what the Bucks did, right, in the NFL?
Yep, Bucks.
Right? They were just growing along, no championship hopes. Brady becomes available. Few free agents with him become available. They go all in the summer. What do you know? Championship.
L.A. Rams, forget this. Screw the salary cap. There is no salary cap. We're going to sign who we want. So maybe that is the new way. But the Tigers don't have the stomach to do that.
You're being kind by saying that.
Okay, what should I say?
They don't have the balls.
Okay, they don't have the balls.
They don't have the... Lynn Henning came out with an article.
Now, why does that got you so steamed?
I'll tell you why. It says, the article says Al Avila will, quote unquote, will more than likely be fired at the end of the season. What does that do for me? You waste another year of these fans' monies. You waste all their hard-working money for nothing. Now, what does that do for me, Chris? You're gonna fire him, not even before the deadline, not even after. No, you're gonna wait till the end of the season. Why? You should be on the phone with every team looking for the next up-and-coming GM. Hell, you could hire an 18-year-old, and he would be able to turn it around much quicker than Al Avila. You have a loser of a GM who can't even publicly speak, who sits there on his goddamn microphone on Bally Sports doing fake interviews saying, well, you know, it was time to move on Robbie Grossman. Can't even finish a goddamn sentence, you fat fuck.
You know who you are today? Rich Little. Do you know who Richard Little is?
Richard Little, the comedian, right?
No, yeah, he
or
did
the actor.
Impersonations. He was a comedian too,
yeah.
so you're over there impersonating Al Avila to a T.
Like,
I want
everything in me wants to be mad. I really do. I'm boiling inside. But you know what, Terry? I actually hope they don't fire him anymore. I really don't.
Now, why is this?
I want them to suck dick for the next 15, 20, 30 years if possible. I want nothing for Chris Ilitch and this baseball team. Nothing. The fans, I feel bad for. But for Chris Ilitch and Al Avila together, they can stay together. They can go another 8 years. They're not going to get a minute of my time after that.
So the fans are collateral damage.
The fans are collateral damage in that theory. It's just frustrating. I mean, what do you do at this point, Terry? Come on. Look, I always tell you this. I was too young for the Millen March. Okay? Mm-hmm. I was too young for that 2009, I would say 99 to 2002 period. I was just a bit too young. And then the 2004, 2005 draft, that's when I was developing as a kid. Made sense, everything. I was kind of understanding what was going on, but I don't have that anger towards Millen that you would, let's say. Or somebody a few years older than me would.
He ruined that franchise.
Al Avila is not only the closest, I could argue worse than Matt Millen. And maybe I lack the context of not experiencing Matt Millen, but what I'd say, and please tell me what you think, is he is at least on the same level as Matt Millen this morning.
He's getting in that neighborhood. But Matt Millen, probably the worst sports manager in history.
But didn't he tease you a little bit, right? Didn't he play with your ass, smack your ass a little bit?
Oh.
You know, show you Mike Williams, show you Roy Williams. Didn't he?
Mike Williams sucked.
I know he sucked. And then Charles Rogers, right? Like that whole look again.
Charles Rogers was a disaster here.
It was all a disaster. Kind of where I'm getting at is though, you had a fan base excited, ready to go for 8 years. When has this fan base ever been excited with Al Avila? And again, I like to think, and it's not only what I think, this is what history tells me. You can turn around a baseball club and an NFL club in roughly 2 to 3 years. If you walk in at the right time, the timing's right, the GM's already there, and you're a head coach, you can do it in 1 year. Like Sean McVay did with the Rams. But if you walk into a situation like Campbell and Holmes did, well, there's not much there, right? You have to establish, you have to build, all right? I can't criticize you for not doing it in year one, but there's a 3-year window. And Al Avila is now going through his third 3-year window. 3 rebuilds.
Yes.
He's gotten nothing done. Matt Millen, just as bad. But Al Avila, when Al Avila calls, or teams call, this is how the conversation goes there. I'm the GM of the Mets.
Okay.
Pick up my phone. Hey, guys. Puts it on mute. Hey, guys. Look what I'm about to get from Al Avila.
It's Big Al.
Hey, Al. Hey, Tark Schoolball, I'm looking for a pitcher. What do you need? It's too much, Al. I can't give you my prospects. Come on, bud. Come on, buddy. You know I can't do that. How about this? I'll give you the number 47 ranked prospect in our system. Okay. I'll supply you with bubble gum for 3 years, and I will give you a lifetime membership at Planet Fitness. What do you think, Al?
Good deal.
Guys, the Mets just offered us a trade. Oh my god, I'm accepting. It's a great trade. You got a deal.
That's the way it goes.
That's Al Avila. That's Al Avila in a nutshell.
That's scary.
I'm angry.
Very scary.
I'm
But
angry.
he did not, to his credit, trade Tarek Skubal, which has probably been his best deal of all time.
God help me. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, Jeff joins us to talk about which Detroit Lion is primed and ready for a breakout season. 8:30, Chris Castellani joins us to talk about our favorite GM in all of baseball, Al Avila. I can't wait for that, and really the deadline in general, what he thinks of the Juan Soto trade. 9 o'clock, top of the hour, we got training camp updates. Dan Campbell, Ben Johnson, reportedly an over-communicator, super energetic. I'll share my thoughts on Ben Johnson around 9:15.
I know you're a Ben Johnson guy.
I'm telling you, Terry, there's something there. But let's take a quick break, and when we get back, we'll be joined by Jeff. But before we go, Maddie, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Yes, ciabattas, summer salads, hand-dipped shakes, all at Big Boy. Try out a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or a sunrise ham and cheddar, all on their grilled ciabatta bread. Don't forget to cool off with a nice hand-dipped shake, strawberry or cookies and cream. You heard it here first. Summer's just got better at Big Boy.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
You have an opinion? Make sure it's seen and heard. Jumper! Tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
Part of downtown.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Also featured on the Roar on 99.1, 93.5, and 94.7 HD2.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. We are joined by Jeff Iafrate. Jeff, it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we've chatted about the Lions. I have to ask you and Terry this morning, who is primed of all the players for a breakout season for this Detroit Lions team?
I'm going with DeAndre Swift because of a couple reasons too. Number one, his first 2 seasons in the NFL, he's played 13 games in each. So I think if he can play the full 17, he is definitely primed for a breakout season. He's had 600 yards last year rushing. But from yards from scrimmage, he had 1,000 in 13 games. So if he plays 17, he could be anywhere from 1,500 to 1,700 yards, especially with this offensive line, which last year wasn't healthy. I think Penei Sewell now in his second year. You have Frank Ragnow back, Decker, Jonah Jackson, and Vaitai. I think with DeAndre Swift being utilized in this offense, Ben Johnson now the offensive coordinator, he's going to have a lot of different ways to get him involved. It's really just about staying healthy for DeAndre. And physically, man, he's gotten a lot stronger. His lower body, upper body, he just looks a lot better. So it's really about staying healthy. But for me, I think who's primed, it's DeAndre Swift, because they're going to be a run-first team. They're going to establish the run, and who's RB1? It's DeAndre Swift, and he can catch the ball in the backfield. So a lot more benefits for DeAndre, but I'm going with him as my breakout.
I have no problem with that. And even if Penei Sewell has a breakout season, will people even notice?
Right.
So, but I'm going to go T.J. Hockenson. He's been kind of beaten up from the standpoint that people don't believe in him. He's in a contract year. I think he'll get a lot of dump-offs. I don't think Jared Goff is willing or able to go downfield a lot, and that's going to mean a lot of opportunities for T.J. Hockenson.
Mm-hmm. And he's got to get paid, too.
What I will
he
say
wants to
is,
get paid.
So he wants to play for that
yesterday I
bag.
said it was Jared Goff. I think Goff really is going to have a better season. But the flip side of Swift breaking out and all these individuals is we're noticing inside the locker room the team much more comfortable. We're noticing the head coach much more comfortable as a community. Did you guys catch his little teaser before they were going over offense and defensive film yesterday? It was released by Hard Knocks. You guys see this? Terry, I don't know if you saw
I
this.
saw you. Are you talking about the?
I'm talking about his little rant. What are we? Huh?
Yeah.
You see Jason Kabinda?
Yeah, it was
And
like,
he's like,
I'm ready, coach.
no,
Jump off the bridge. I'm fucking ready, coach. I'm fucking ready. Dan Campbell walks in the room. All right, guys.
He's drafting
Are you
the
ready?
cocaine. He's drafting the cocaine.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
Dude,
I was born ready.
He's still nuts, but we're used to it now.
Oh, no. He was like, listen, boys, we're going to fucking tread water. All right? We're going to fucking tread water. And we're going to tread water up until the point where we can fuck the other two. Kind of.
It's like verbatim.
This guy could get elected.
Yeah,
Talking like that. This dude showed up to a goddamn political pep rally and walked up to the podium. Healthcare.
He could be be running against Big Gretch.
Healthcare. Yeah, we're ready. Guns, abortion, minimum wage. We're gonna tread water here in Michigan until we're ready to fuck you.
He's like, we're gonna last a little longer.
Dan Campbell, 2024. I approve this message.
Oh my God, I'm voting.
I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Jesus
he's got
Christ.
my vote.
I'm like, my hairs are sticking up. Holy hell.
Yeah.
I mean, you want look. We've all played sports at some level, right? We all love the coach that would just get you motivated. Now, does that translate to division titles, playoff wins? I hope so. I really do, because I'm telling you guys, I gotta say this. Out of all the people that, if they were gonna do it, you would prefer it to be this guy because of his character. Like, imagine the press conference after locking up the division. What'd I fucking tell you? I told you we were gonna run through that wall. I told you we were gonna tread water, right up until the end of the season. And then we're gonna fucking take that division. Oh my God!
Imagine after a playoff win.
He is electric.
Oh, he'll be nuts.
Oh, he'll be doing cocaine off the mic. This is my guy.
No, yeah, definitely. And watching that Hard Knocks trailer just got me so excited too, man. Like just to see Dan Campbell. We had you down, me and Mike. We talked to you, and we said Dan Campbell because we want to see him just operate. And him giving the speech to the team, man. Everyone's just nodding their head.
Guys, I mean, he's walking in the goddamn room saying, "Look, Terry,
Yes, sir.
Terry,
His eyes are just wide open.
whether we play on the turf, we play you on grass. Hell, we'll play in the landfill.
That's
What I'm trying to tell you guys, and what that means to me is, we'll fuck you anywhere. We'll play with you anywhere. We're ready." My God, this guy is electric.
I forgot he said that.
I tell you who else is Jamal Williams.
He's great.
He was talking about, what was that about? When you come to Ford Field, we're gonna lock the gates, and you're gonna wish you weren't there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So man, we're getting some great stuff already. That's why I still run into people who say the Lions are bad for Hard Knocks.
Oh God, no.
Perfect for Hard Knocks.
They are
perfect.
This staff is when Hard Knocks was a concept before it was ever executed.
Yeah.
That is what they wanted.
That's what they had in mind.
That is exactly what they wanted. They would have. I'm not sure if Hard Knocks was around when Braylon and Rex Ryan and that whole Jets team was getting to AFC title games. That would have been a good team to put Hard Knocks on.
Yeah,
Maybe
Rex
the
Ryan.
Bounty Saints.
Yeah,
the
that would've
Bounty
been
Gate
great.
Saints. That would have been a good one. But
Yeah.
It's fun. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking any part of it. I think it's amazing. I think his energy is
unmatched.
It's electric. Having said that, we talk about breakout seasons. I'm not going to sit here and say it's a make or break season, because I think it's very difficult to break the season if you're Dan Campbell. Like, if you win 3 games, I mean, the things that would have to go against you and the mistakes you would have to make, I don't see him making those mistakes, so I have him as a 7-win team. Like, all I see is progress this year. I see progress. And then next year, which would be his 3rd season, I'm willing to have the
time.
conversation of, yeah, it's time to contend for the division. Don't have to win it, but you better be up there in December fighting for a game back or tied going into the last 2-3 games of the year. That's important to me. So I like that you said DeAndre Swift. One of the factors with everybody we talk about, injuries, right? Can't control injuries, but are we expecting Jeff Okudah, if you were to put a short list together, does Jeff Okudah make your short list of breakout players, or do we accept that this is a passing league and it's just hard to be that guy?
I think, too, with Jeff Okudah, I think a breakout season for Jeff Okudah could be like 3 interceptions. I'd be fine with that, 2 interceptions. That's the difference. I think most Lions fans have already accepted who he is. You have some that are calling him a bust. I think if you're going to value him from where he was selected, then yes, he technically is a bust, but he can still be a serviceable player. It's like dropping a first-round pick in on the team. He wasn't playing last year, and technically it's only his second year, considering the fact he missed really all of last season. So yeah, I think I would put Jeff on that list. I know that he's been a little shaky in training camp, but again, like he's got to get up to speed. He's got to catch any. He's coming off an Achilles injury, which is like the modern-day ACL. So he's got to overcome a lot, but certainly I would put him on my breakout season. Breakout meaning
now I'm
play
going
solid.
to challenge Lion fans and the media to do something that's very difficult. Give this guy time. He is coming off an Achilles injury. It's true. But I think in time, probably by October, early October, late September, he's going to be good. He's in a new system. He's got better coaching.
Way better.
He's got a system that wants to put pressure on the quarterback. That's going to help Jeff Okudah. But he needs time. Like, he's got to get up to speed. And I don't think training camp is going to give him enough time. He's going to need 3 or 4 games to do that too. But I think if Lion fans are still saying Jeff Okudah sucks in early October, then it's done.
So one of the things I like to look at, and it doesn't always have to be this way. It doesn't always work out this way. But when you look back at NFL drafts and you see a player that was taken a spot, 2, 3, 4 spots after you, and they turn out to be perennial Hall of Famers, and then you just have, in this case, Jeff Okudah. But it's not just Okudah. It's every year this happens. You typically don't see those guys who have struggled compared to the ones that are playing at an elite level ever truly justify their value at that pick. And that will always be the case for Okudah. The only way, now I don't mean this in a bad way, but the only way he can change my mind on being the number 3 overall pick is if he has a breakout season this year, he's all pro for the next 6 out of 8 years, and he becomes a guy where we're talking about him like Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
But even then, was it actually worth it? We can have that conversation later. I'll tell you what I'm not going to do this season. I'm not going to say a damn thing about Jeff Okudah until October, just like Terry said. I am not interested where in week 1 he gets burnt by Devontae Smith. I'm not interested in it. By week 7, 8, 9, and 10, that 4-week stretch, if he's struggling and just doesn't look good, I think Terry and Jeff, I think you guys know what's going to happen.
And hopefully that defensive line, too, is playing their best football. Because like Terry kind of hit on, too, at Ohio State, he played well at Ohio State, but he also had Chase Young. I mean, and they had one of the best D-lines in the Big Ten. So that's going to matter as well. Just, he needs help, man. He can't do it all by himself. But like you said, it reminds me a lot.
An unfortunate thing, people still think there's shutdown corners in the NFL. There's not.
No such thing.
Can't do it anymore.
No such thing. Go watch the Super Bowl last season.
Even Ramsey.
No matter how good he gets, there's going to be times where he's going to look bad. That's cornerback. Last line of defense in a lot of cases. But what he's got to do is look good more often than he does bad, if that makes any sense.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff.
But in your... He's never going to be what you required. He's never going to be worth that number 3 pick. We might look at him and say, you know what? If he was a 2nd-round pick, this is a nice pickup. But we're never going to look at him and say, yeah, this was the number 3 pick, and that's what he deserved. That's why you don't pick corners at 3 unless it's Deion Sanders.
Or you're a fat fuck like Matt Patricia.
It's like the Bagley and Luka Doncic thing. He'll never outlive that.
Well, look, we're going to head to break. When we get back, Chris Castellani joins us this morning to talk about our favorite GM and the best GM in baseball, Al Avila, of course. But before we do, I need to tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, your home of the judgment-free zone. Get to a Planet Fitness near you. $0 down, $10 a month. This is home of the, judgment-free zone. Do me a favor, get yourself in shape, take care of yourself, both physical and mental health, super important. Visit planetfitness.com or one of their many Metro Detroit locations.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
For Detroit, by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
When it comes time to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment has partnered with the biggest names in construction. So if you've got a big project coming up, look no further than Alta. They've got you covered. Give them a call today at 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, joined by a very good friend of the show, Chris Castellani. Chris, good morning, dude. How are you, man?
I'm doing well, guys. Thanks for having me.
Looking good, man. Looking good. Look, I do want to start off with the reality, and excuse me, I'm going to be talking like Al Avila for the next minute. But how are you? Feeling about the best GM in baseball in Al Avila? And what do you make of the reports that he will likely be fired at the end of the season? To me, that actually just pisses me off more than anything. But they didn't give away Skubal. They didn't give away any major prospects. I didn't expect them to get much anyways, but that's been the reality, of the Tigers under Al Avila.
Well, I'll start with the deadline as a whole because I'm weirdly kind of okay with it. Fulmer was a free agent and probably going to go to a competitive team at the end of the year in the offseason, and you wish him the best. Robbie Grossman, you weren't getting anything for. I mean, Robbie Grossman had a 500-something OPS, solid year last year, but so what? I mean, his batted ball data outside of the walk rate was pitiful. You trade both these guys for pitchers that you probably at some point are going to try to turn into relievers. You take a flyer out on them. I've seen worse. I'm not going to say I'm happy with it, but I do get it. It's a weird thing, man, because I think we all came into this deadline dreading it, thinking, okay, they're going to blow up this bullpen, and the best unit on the team is going to be carved up, and knowing Avila's track record, he's going to screw this thing up, and we're not going to get anything for these guys. I mean, in a weird way, I'm kind of happy that they stood pat instead of, getting rid of Chafin, Jimenez, and Soto, and getting nothing back for him, quite frankly. And that for the record, that's sad. It's sad that we're looking at this trade deadline going, well, they didn't screw anything up. Like, good teams, even average teams, even teams that are rebuilding, look at their deadlines and go, hey, I think we got better. The fact that they essentially stood pat and just didn't, completely rock the boat in year 6, 7 of a rebuild is kind of embarrassing. In terms of the reports that he's going to be gone, look, I have no insider information on that. I know Lynn Henning wrote that article. I just read it after you brought it up there. Look, I want that. And I get it. I get your point of view there. But as somebody who, hasn't missed a game in 8 years, who does videos after every game, I can't take much more of this, dude.
I'm sorry.
I need some semblance of hope. And the thing is, let's say tomorrow Al Avila leaves or retires or gets fired. It's going to take time to rebuild this process here. It's very similar to what Troy Weaver inherited, and it's very similar to what Brad Holmes inherited. where it's even if you hire the best GM in the world, you are so far back at this point that unfortunately it will be a year or two just before you're even competing again because of how bad things have gone here. I mentioned this before in my videos, and I mentioned it before on other shows. The reinforcements aren't coming. At least 3 years ago, and a lot of these guys have either gotten injured or haven't panned out, but at least 3 years ago, you could sell people on hope. The idea of Mize, Manning, Skubal, Green, and Torkelson are coming, not giving up on any of them, but you can't tell me right now that you aren't disappointed in the state of things. And I think that's kind of the where we're at currently with this regime. And it stinks, but it's sadly the way things are.
I'm not sure this fan base can go through another 5, 6, 7, 8 year rebuild. So with that said, and I don't think the mentality of Chris Ilitch is this, but is this now the time where you just start spending and getting free agents and whoever is available, you just try to be the highest bidder, or is that just the wrong way to go about things?
Well, if it was my team, that's how I'm going about things. And I think that's a huge problem in baseball just in general, is a lot of people own baseball teams just as a hobby. I don't get that. Like if I had Chris Ilitch money and I had the ability to spend, I'm spending on everybody. Is it possible you could buy your way out of this? It's possible. You'd have to make all the right moves and get the best players available. I have little faith at this point. When you look at Al Avila's track record, when he has spent, we're talking about the Javier Baez deal, we're talking about the Eduardo Rodriguez deal, the Jordan Zimmerman deal, Mike Pelfrey. I mean, it's even when they've opened the checkbook, it's been a disaster. And a lot of people use the Mets as an example of a team that, hey, they went out and spent. Steve Cohen, threw all caution to the wind, and they went out and they got Scherzer and Marte and Canna. But at the same time, and that is true, and it's amazing what happens when you have an owner who cares. They also had Pete Alonso and DeGrom and Nimmo and Jeff McNeil, these guys who were farm system guys that they developed. It's a rough place to be in when you have an owner who is, at best willing to maybe dip his toes in the water, and you have a GM who hasn't really shown in 7-8 years hasn't shown any ability to hone in on the best guys in free agency. So is now the time to potentially do it? To answer your question, it is. Do I think they will? I have serious doubt.
Chris, looking at the deadline as a whole, we see the Padres make a move that sets them up, if they agree to a long-term deal with Juan Soto, sets them up to be not only relevant, but have one of the most dynamic hitting combinations with Machado, Tatis Jr., and now Soto. That's a move yesterday that struck me as, man, look, I'm not dogging. I don't want to dog another city, but San Diego is what it is. There are so many better baseball towns in the United States of America. And the fact that the Padres, by doing it the right way, building a farm system, spending money on a Machado, stealing Tatis in a trade, I believe it was James Shields.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing it the right way. I can't even get mad, but it leaves me with what the hell have we been doing for 8 years? And I know it'll all circle back to Avila, but I see that trade and I just go, wow, like that's how you build a baseball team.
It's amazing what happens. I'm not declaring AJ Preller to be God, but at the same time, it's amazing what happens when you have one of the smartest people in the room working, because I think that's what's happened with the Padres, and it's what happened a decade plus ago with Dave Dombrowski. I mean, look at the return Dave Dombrowski got in some of his trades, and near the end fell off a little bit, but you look at the Fister deal and the Anibal Sanchez and Omar Infante deal, with the pieces they traded away, they never panned out. And I think it also really puts an end to the big market, small market argument. First of all, Detroit is a big market. I've had people try to deny that because they're unwilling to spend. It's a big market. San Diego, and forgive me, I don't know who tweeted this, but it was a tweet. It's on my feed. If you scroll through, San Diego is the 27th biggest TV market in terms of baseball right now. And so this whole notion that there's nothing we can do because we play in a small market is nonsense. If the money is there and ownership is willing to spend, you can do it. Now, there are exceptions like Oakland, Kansas City, these Moneyball teams that kind of have to nickel and dime their way to success. But generally speaking, you are as good as you allow yourself to be. And yeah, I mean, they went nuts yesterday. Will it be enough to catch the Dodgers? No, it won't. Could it be enough to potentially, make it to the World Series as a wild card? We'll see. But it's about the excitement. It's as a fan knowing that, hey, we're in August and we have the ability to compete for a World Series. That's a feeling that we haven't felt here in 8 years, essentially. I mean, 8 years ago was the last division title. I know 2016 they won 86 games and were competitive until the end. But that's a very fun thing as a fan. Talking with some of the Barstool people that I work with, the Astros fans, the Mets fans, the Yankees fans, that feeling of we're in this, the owner cares, the GM cares. It's an infectious feeling, and it's something that I miss as a fan. I forget what it feels like because I was like in high school the last time that we kind of went through this. So it's disappointing, but I give a lot of credit to San Diego for opening up the checkbook and being willing to trade their prospect.
Chris, the Tigers would be almost 10 games ahead in the Central if they had the Padres record at 60-46. I mean, 60-46 is second in the NL West right now. It is almost 10 games clear.
Well, they would have a better record than that playing this garbage in this division.
Right.
Yeah. But Chris, the apple, there's an old saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Chris Ilitch got this mentality from Mike Ilitch. This is exactly how Mike Ilitch was early in his tenure as owner of the Detroit Tigers. He didn't want to spend, he didn't want to carry, he cared more about the wings. And then one day he's like, I'm going to be a different guy. And it all worked out. I don't understand why this guy, the light doesn't turn on for this guy, because I have a philosophy. If you own the Detroit Tigers and if you spend and have a competitive team, fans will show up in droves. You'll get 35, 40,000 people. You'll make your money back. But if you sit on your ass, people are not going to come. Yeah, you're saving money, but you're not going to make money. So if it was me, I'm putting a competitive team out there. Yeah, my payroll is going to be a little bit high. But guess what? I'm betting on these fans coming out, buying beers, buying tickets, buying shirts, buying hats, buying all kinds of stuff. Because that's just the way it is. I'm not saying Detroit's the greatest baseball town in the world. But if you're competitive, if this team was 500, and which is not great, these people would show up this year.
Yeah.
I don't know why Chris Ilitch doesn't get it.
Well, I think what happened with Mike Ilitch was 2003. And it is a famous story that, it was right after they'd hired Dombrowski and they lose, whatever it was, 119 games. And he became very adamant that this won't happen again. I think he got embarrassed. Now, I would argue the last 5-6 years of Tigers baseball are an equal amount of embarrassment. 98 losses, you're averaging, 98 losses over 6 years is the equivalent of one, 119 loss season. I'm with you. I mean, I don't get it. From my standpoint, I'm a huge fan. I want him to be good. Everybody does. And you brought up, the way the fan base would react if they were competitive. And the sad truth is that they, given this division, they wouldn't have to be that good to be competitive. I said, I think on this show, Adam, I think I said 83-79 at the beginning of the year. That was my prediction.
You did, and you said that you thought the White Sox would pull off the division barely, though. You didn't think they were 95, 94 wins good.
I thought they would comfortably win the division, but I thought the Tigers would play competitive baseball. And this is, the worst irony of this whole thing. If the Tigers were on pace for 83 wins right now, they would be so in the thick of this. The Minnesota Twins, and maybe this changed last night. I know they've obviously they lost yesterday. I believe are on pace for 85. So if they were at that pace, and 83 wins, unless you're the 06 Cardinals, who beat the Tigers in the World Series, 83 wins is nothing. That you're is slightly above a mediocre team. It's sad that they just can't get to that level. I think whoever wins the AL Central is going to get their doors blown off in the first round of the postseason. But so what? at this point. It's sad that you can't even reach a level slightly above mediocrity, because if they were there, people would be coming to the park. I mean, I was at Miggy's 3,000th hit game, and I know that's an isolated thing, a personal accomplishment. I get it. It gave you those chills of like that 2006 to 2014 window. So it's sad that it seems like ownership just is unwilling to kind of buy in here.
One other thing, and I don't know if this is playing out again, but Mike Ilitch would never admit at first that Randy Smith was a disaster.
Right.
And so then later on, we would keep peppering him about things, and when he started to spin, he admitted he did not have confidence in Randy Smith, so he had to get somebody in the front office that he believed in, and that was Dave Dombrowski. Could it be that Chris Ilitch doesn't believe in Al Avila, and then later on we may find this out, or is this still his guy?
Look, it's entirely possible he doesn't believe in him. For the sake of the fan base, I hope he doesn't believe in him. The difference is, I mean, if you didn't believe in this guy, why would you have extended him 3 years ago? That's the one thing that bothers me, is that the writing was on the wall that this guy was probably not very good at his job early into his tenure. You can claim bad luck with some of the trades, that's fine, but you look at the J.D. Martinez return, you look at the Verlander return, and that was 2017. He got the extension in 19. It was pretty apparent outside of the first-round picks that they had made that there wasn't a massive core here the way that there should have been, considering how bad they were for a long time. The way I stand on it, I believe that Al Avila is a made man. I don't think he gets fired. I could be wrong. I quite frankly, I hope I'm wrong. I think that they're going to see this through to the end. The one thing I've brought up in the past is that, weirdly, and there's exceptions, GMs in baseball are, for the most part, pretty young, like 30s, 40s, maybe 50s. Avila is admittedly one of the older GMs in the sport, so I think the best case scenario is that he just steps down. Like he's been in the organization for a long time. He's been in baseball for a long time. I don't know how much longer he feels like he's passionate about this. So I believe that he's kind of set here until he decides to step down, and maybe this is when he does it. It was undisclosed how many years that extension was. There were rumors that it was 3, and if that's the case, then he would be done after this year. But I don't see a firing unless there is a Mike Ilitch equivalent where he just kind of gets fed up with the product and says, let's start over. That's possible, but right now I sadly think they're kind of set in their ways.
You know what, fellas, for the last 3 weeks I've been reading between the tea leaves. When I see stories saying that it's not Al Avila's fault, when I see stories that his drafts were better than expected, when I see stories about, let's give Al another shot, these seem like stories that were planted by the Detroit Tigers. So that's why I don't think he's going to get fired. I think the Tigers they're doing a campaign of trying to dupe the fan base, and they're thinking, you know what, Al's a great guy. He's not that bad, so let's give him another shot.
Chris, I know you're typically at the games most of the time. If you could do me a favor the next time you go, section 105, row H, somewhere between seats 6 and 10, 6 and 11, I think. I don't know if there's a season ticket holder that sits there. I would love to know who this guy is that told me it is inappropriate to come to the ballpark and say fire Al Avila. How dare I do that? If for any reason this certain individual, or you can help me find out who the hell he is, I would like to invite him to the studio, buy him a coffee.
I thought you wanted to shank him.
No, buy him a coffee, buy him some eggs.
Yeah, you got to wait, it's coming.
And then tell him to shut the fuck up.
There we go.
So, Chris,
this is actually I haven't been to a game in a while. Right now, I have a philosophy with this. You got to earn my money. You have to earn fans' money. So I don't like. If I went to a movie knowing it would be bad, I wouldn't pay money for it. And that's kind of where I stand with this product right now. When it gets better, I'll be happy to go. I love Comerica Park. If this team was competitive, I'd be there like every other night. But yeah, the one thing that will bring you, I think, some happiness here, Adam, is knowing that this weekend, I believe it's this weekend, could be wrong, Lou Whitaker's getting his jersey retired, which will be awesome, right? But that will be another opportunity for, I would guess, both Al Avila and Chris Ilitch to speak, and the Boo Birds will be out in full. And it's just another opportunity, and that's, I don't believe that will have any impact on Lou Whitaker, but it's just a prime example of the frustration of this fan base. It's a bizarre thing. I've said this before. Like, if I have a misspelling in a blog that I write, I'm pulling my hair out. Like, I'm furious. The amount of, the reception these guys get at public events, I mean, it's overwhelmingly negative, and they just keep marching on. It's almost robotic. I find it bizarre that you can just keep moving forward when so many people in the fan base are against the job that you've done so far. It's weird.
Yeah, well, Chris,
if you don't care, it's easy for you to go out there. Yeah. And maybe they don't show up Saturday.
No, I think they will. It's a special day. I do think it's a special day, but yeah. Look, Chris, appreciate you so much coming on. I can't thank you enough. We got to bring you back on soon. I got to ask you about this Javi Baez contract and really what it means for the next GM or Al moving forward. I mean, that's a whole different problem I don't think we're talking enough about, but I appreciate you coming on this morning. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course, guys. I wasn't sure. It looked like my camera was lagging a little bit. I hope the audio was at least picking up.
Yeah, you're clean. You're good. Don't worry.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one, man. We'll be
Appreciate it, Chris.
Be good.
All right, guys, we will be right back. We'll be right back with some Detroit Lions camp updates. But before we go, Maddie, our good friends at the Academy of Warren.
Yes, it is almost time to go back to school, so if you are still looking for someplace to enroll your child, look no further than the Academy of Warren. They have a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation-sized basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. Their K-8 system features small classroom sizes, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, and so much more. Enroll today at theacademyofwarren.net.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, it's Wednesday. It's one of our favorite days. We get to talk golf with our girl Kelly. Hey, we've been red hot with our golf picks, so make sure you join us at 4:30 over at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. You guys also got to make sure you get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. Listen, it's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and it's the best place to check all the odds at the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, let's get some fun coupons. We need to get us some money. So listen, my favorite bet here today is the Marlins. And our boy, Sandy, don't call me Sally, Canatera. Listen, that's how we do it. Woodward Bets, oddstrader.com. Check it out.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. I did miss you even a little bit.
You didn't, or you did?
Did not.
I'm not surprised.
I wouldn't have either.
I'm not surprised.
It was a breath of fresh air not to have to look at your face in the morning.
Yeah, I almost died yesterday having to deal with you.
You?
Yeah, me.
What happened to you yesterday?
I had to sit here, stand here.
And?
You think I would have rather been get in the hole on the golf course yesterday?
I mean, I wasn't golfing.
Excuse me, Fish. Not all of us are billionaires golfers. And we can do as we please.
I didn't say I was a millionaire.
No, you said billion.
Well, billion, million.
You should buy the team, Fish.
Who, Tigers?
Yeah.
I don't think I can afford that team.
I think you can, man.
You know who can?
You know Fish drives a Ferrari, right?
I did not know that.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He cleans it at Jack's car wash across the street every day. Okay. Fish is loaded. Why do you think he's working an audiobook? He's just trying to get some resemblance of a normal life. That's the only reason why we got him.
Oh, so that's why he's slumming with us?
That's why.
Okay. Well, thank you for slumming with us.
Thank you, Fish.
You're welcome.
And I just want to say, Maddie's doing an amazing job.
Well, why are you going to compliment her?
Huh?
Oh, why are you going to give her a compliment?
Because she deserves it.
For what?
You are a little bit abusive.
You bum.
A little. I didn't say a lot, but a little bit abusive.
No, he's a lot abusive.
Okay. And some of the stuff she doesn't deserve.
Like?
Some? You mean all?
Fish, shut the hell up. Mute your mic. Oh, we lasted 55 minutes without me telling him to shut the hell up. So I think that's...
Well, you didn't tell me the other word.
Oh, that's right.
No, that's right.
I'm
behaving.
Yeah, you're behaving yourself.
All right, so we're doing good.
I think that's
you
my
ignored my
influence.
comment in the chat yesterday. In the first 5 minutes of the show, you were already dropping
comment?
F-bombs.
Yeah, he ignores everyone.
I said, watch your mouth, asshole.
Mute her mic, please, Fish. Terry,
Y'all
training
should
camp
hear it.
updates. Training camp updates with the Lions. Cephas's injury reportedly isn't as severe as they thought originally. He should be okay. I did want to bring this up. You weren't here yesterday. Aiden Hutchinson has been making quite the impression during camp. More athletic than they thought he would be, much more explosive than they thought originally. Now, look, I know it is camp, no pads, I get it, but I think something really important to take away from any of the conversations we're having about Aiden Hutchinson is that he was exactly what you thought he was when you drafted him.
He was, but
the character.
Who did he get busted up by?
Oh, Panay Sewell.
No, it was T.J. Hawkinson.
Oh, T.J. Hawkinson, that's right. That's
Knocked
right.
his
Yep,
ass
absolutely.
down.
Yeah, look, it's the NFL. You're going to get tape on Aaron Donald getting messed up every once in a while, too. But
that's one reason why I'm looking at TJ as a breakout player.
I hope so. I do hope so. But
he wants to get paid.
One of the things I like, and not only like, I think it's comforting for not only myself, but Lions fans, is when we talked about Aiden Hutchinson, especially draft night, when it was a reality that you could land him at 2, the conversation was, hey, this is a Dan Campbell type player, high character, high motor, high intensity, supreme work ethic. I'm not even talking about the intangibles on the field right now. We're talking strictly off of it, right? A guy that has potential to be your leader, your face of the franchise. And then you get to the field part, athletically gifted, underrated athleticism, powerful, strong. I could go on. He has been everything so far in camp, and I think that's promising.
And you know what else he's been?
What's that?
He knows deep down at some point he's going to be the leader of this defense. But what he's doing now, he's being humble. He's carrying the pads. He's bringing the donuts. He's doing whatever the
Very
veterans.
humble.
So he doesn't have that mentality. This is
lead by
my
example.
team already. He's gonna wait his turn. I like that part about him.
Yeah, I think the intangibles are great. That lead by example. I don't think people appreciate enough leaders who do lead by example. It's not just, there's always a balance, right? You have to have vocal leaders.
Right.
But there are also the guys you have to look to and say, you know what? I see what you're doing. You're staying after practice and...
Right. But the other thing, I don't care how good you are, you got to listen to the veterans. Even if they suck. Because they've been in the league, they know the protocol. Most of them are willing to pass along their experiences to you. There's some that it's like, screw you, I'm not going to tell you anything. But I think with the Lions, because of the atmosphere that's being created by Dan Campbell and his assistant coaches, that they're willing to pass along knowledge to Aiden Hutchinson and whoever else needs it. And Aiden Hutchinson is willing to listen.
Absolutely.
And that's very important.
Absolutely. Alex, when you do get a second, I'd love for you to bring up the NFC North predictions from yesterday. When you get a chance. I do want to show Terry. Terry, I released...
Those horrific rankings?
Shut the hell up, Fish. You don't know a damn thing about football. Go watch Crystal Palace. Terry?
Yes, sir.
I have the Vikings winning the division. All right?
Okay.
That's my pick this year. I think 11-6 is a fair record. I think even 10-7 this year can win you the division. But I have the Vikings at the top at 11-6. The Packers 10-7 in second. I do think they fall off, but not severely. They'll be in the playoffs. I think the Lions 8-9, 7-10 or 8-9 is where I'm going at. I go back and forth on both. I think it's 7 or 8. More I would be very happy with. Less I would be very disappointed.
And the other thing about you have extremist views. And I see what your extremist view is. 0-17 for the Bears.
I mean, you have to appreciate it. Come on, Terry.
I appreciate it, but unrealistic.
Nobody likes the Bears. All right, let's start there.
The Bears.
The Bears will go 0-17, and I'll tell you why. The running joke on this show last season was that the Lions were going to go 0-17, and I said this before the season as well. I said this team has a chance to go 0-17, and 10 weeks into the season, that was a legitimate conversation.
It was.
And now I want you to remember what that Lions team was like last year and look at a roster that, in my opinion, is much worse. I wouldn't say much, but slightly worse than what the Lions were last year, with a rookie head coach who was a defensive coordinator out in Indianapolis who did a hell of a job with that defense. But you brought in a defensive coordinator to groom your second-year quarterback who struggled his first year, couldn't stay upright, struggled to complete I think he had a 57% completion percentage. In today's NFL, where it's a given you throw 62, 63% at least. So for me, the Bears are going to struggle. Justin Fields only has David Montgomery and Darnell Mooney on offense. Don't talk to me about Cole Kmet. All right. And then their defense, Roquan Smith, yeah. Jaquan Brisker, the rookie, okay. What else you got for me, Chicago? That's a team that could struggle. And yes, the schedule is much easier for the NFC North this season. I do agree. They play the Commanders. They play the Seahawks. I get it. But there is an opportunity for the the Chicago Bears to go 0-17. And I mean it sincerely, legitimately. That's a 0-17 type team. 100%.
How much money are you putting on them?
I'll put a few $100.
Okay.
I'll put a few $100 on it, but
well, good luck getting that money back.
It's top of the hour. Brought to you by Better Rock Detroit, by the way. I do want to take a quick break.
Excellent.
When we get back, I want to continue on with the Lions a little bit. Dan Campbell becoming a national darling. Is it time to jump on board, Terry, or cautious? Let's see you produce first. We'll get to that in just a bit. But before we go, Maddie, could you tell everybody at home about nothing? It's actually my turn. Let me tell you guys about the Mulligan, the official drink of the summer, brought to you by Gypsy Vodka, of course. 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade, and vodka mixed. The Mulligan is the perfect drink for you and fish on the golf course, or if you're having a barbecue with me and Terry. Make sure you drink it responsibly, and make sure you support Michigan distilleries.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer, Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Holton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Ciabattas, summer salads, and dip shakes, all at Big Boy. Try a chicken club, chicken cordon bleu, or sunrise ham and cheddar, all on our grilled ciabatta bread. Or keep it light with our Michigan apple, chicken Caesar, or Greek salad. And don't forget to cool off with a frosty hand-dipped cookies and cream or strawberry shake. You heard it here first. Summer just got better.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
If you look like fish, make sure you head on over to Chili Peppers and get your tan on. That's where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D with spotless sanitized rooms and trained certified tanning professionals. Don't forget, of course, to join the Pepper Club for all the best deals on unlimited tanning. Chili Peppers has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans.
Chili Peppers tan!
God bless you, fish. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, 9:04 on a beautiful Wednesday. I hope it doesn't rain tonight. I'd be very disappointed. Is it? That's frustrating.
But it's supposed to rain later tonight?
Yeah,
or?
later in the day.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
What time is your little ball game?
6:25 is the first one.
Ooh,
boy.
So 7:30, 7:45 for the second game. But anyways.
It says thunderstorms from 5 to 7 a.m.
That's not fun. Dan Campbell, Terry, is becoming a national darling. People are falling in love with his energy. I kind of gave you my impersonation of him a little bit earlier, but is it time to jump on board with Dan Campbell and what he's about and what he's bringing to Detroit, or do we need to, put the foot on the brake a little bit and say, whoa, I like a lot of this, but I won't like it 12 months from now if a season passes and you're a 4-5 win team?
I think we can have fun with it and talk about it and be excited about him, but you need to pump the brakes a little bit, because from my dealing with the Detroit Lions, every year in the summer, people are excited about them. They're going to be better than you think. And then I love my Lions. Don't talk bad about my Lions. And then by October, people are pissed off about the team because they didn't get off to the start that they wanted them to. So I think Dan Campbell's exciting. I think he's fun. He's a motivator. I'm going to say he's a great motivator. But, and I will ask you this question in November, is he a good coach? That's what we're going to find out, and we'll know that probably earlier than that, but I'll ask you in November for the hell of it.
Interesting. Well, no, look, Terry, you know me. I say what I want to say and what I believe and whatever I have that comes to my mind.
I do know that about you, young man, and we're proud of you for doing that.
But when it comes to Dan Campbell, I don't think the only way you can tell me a coach is a good coach after 1 year is if they come into a situation that wasn't good and they just turn it around instantly. Now, there are anomalies, right? You do have some instances of a coach coming in, having hyper success, and then just falling off and never repeating it. That has happened. But more often than not, the ones that come in, showcase their talents early on, and show promise, those are the ones that work out. And you know what? I'll use Zach Taylor as a recent example. Zach Taylor's first year, he takes over from Marvin Lewis. It's one of the worst rosters in all of football. They rightfully had the #1 overall pick. They were awful. They draft Joe Burrow. You know what happens in those first 7-8 games that Burrow plays before he gets hurt? The offense is rolling. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Offense looks good. They couldn't keep him upright, right? They had offensive line issues, but you saw as a fan, and really from a front office perspective, I hired that coach, Terry, Zach Taylor, to be an offensive-minded coach. And we're actually moving the ball. The roster's not all that great. So you know what? We'll go out and get Trey Hendrickson. We'll go out and get some of these players, Jesse Bates. We'll go out and get defensive players, right? We'll address it in free agency. And we're going to see what we can get in this upcoming draft. Joe Burrow goes down. It catapults them into pole position to get a top 5 pick. They do. Jamar Chase falls to them. They get Jamar Chase. And now, do I think you should go to the Super Bowl in year 3 the way they did? That's insane. That was really unexpected. Ahead of their timeline. But all the offensive flashes and the showcases they put on in those first 2 years where you're like, all right, Zach Taylor's on to something here. It showed when his quarterback was healthy and they brought in a wide receiver. It paid dividends. And the front office did a good job of addressing the O-line, which they did in the offseason. And even last year, getting defensive players so they weren't getting involved in games that were 35-34, 42-35. That's ridiculous. So you can look at a coach who comes in like a Dan Campbell, wins 3 games, and still have, hey, I think you can win in the future. But I'm not going to be able to know that until November when he's coached another 7, 8, 9 games, 10 games. And we're sitting here not only looking at the record, but what am I seeing on the field? Decisions. 4th down decisions. Creativeness. Play calling. It'll likely be Ben, but you hold the head coach always accountable. And I'm looking at that this season for Dan to tell me. I don't want to tell Dan what he is. I want him to tell me and show me that he has that ceiling that we're not sure of yet, but we know it can translate into something like a division title, a playoff win, like Zach Taylor delivered last season.
Let me say this about the Lions. Did Dan Campbell turn things around last season? No. Did he turn around some things from last season? The answer to that is yes. I thought the Lions were so pathetic and so divided, and players were so pissed off about having to play under Quinn Trisha that it was going to be very, very difficult to turn that franchise around last year. I think the fact that he turned some aspects around are commendable, because that place was worse than the fan base could see, because the guys were pissed off. And then the guys who were pissed off and spoke out about it, they shipped their ass out of town, which is probably a mistake, but that's what they did. So the fact what we have to figure out, were players so relieved of getting rid of Quinn Tricia and just seeing a new voice that they decide we're going to go lockstep and we'll do whatever this guy asks? Or was he so motivating, so stimulating, that they said, you know what, this is our guy, we're following him off a cliff. We don't care where he takes us. I don't care where he tells me to go. I'm there. So that's another aspect that we have to figure that's going to play out again this season. It appears that players are saying, you know, this guy's so stimulating, motivating, and that I want to follow this guy. The other thing that he's doing is he's not saying one thing to the players and one thing to the media. He's not saying one thing to the players and one thing to his assistant coaches. The message has to be the same for them to buy in, because one players talk to each other, two, players do pay attention to what you're saying publicly, and B, they'll vote on your ass too if they don't like the message. So it appears that they they love the message, because I'm not going by what I'm hearing. I'm going by the way that players are saying it, and they're enthusiastic and ready to go.
I think it matters, and one of the ways to cure a disgruntled locker room, Terry, we can go about it the Dan Campbell way last year, right? Culture, building, energy, enthusiasm, or you just win. You can't talk to me about Bill Belichick's culture in the building.
But you weren't going to win last year.
I know, but I'm saying, like, in reality, those are the only two legitimate ways. You build it from the ground up, or you just win and you shut everybody up.
Oh, you know what the fools do? The fools come in, I'm Captain Hardass. They get rid of all the guys who are not buying in at first.
Like Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn did?
Bam. Then you don't have a roster, and they're like, hey, what's going on here? I think you can do that in college, and it works. NFL, no.
You know, I do see the Jared Goff, Ben Johnson comments. We'll get to Ben Johnson in a few minutes, but I do want to touch on Jared Goff with you, Terry. Jared Goff, I believe, is a middle-of-the-pack quarterback.
Yes.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Scott Mitchell was a middle-of-the-pack quarterback.
And
Kirk Cousins, Ryan Tannehill, Baker Mayfield. Division winners. Division winners. And what I see this year, I don't need 4,700, 40 touchdowns, 13 I don't need that. And I don't even want it from Jared. If Jared Goff gave me 4,100 yards, 25 to 27 touchdowns, 9 to 10 picks, I would call that a success. And I would be comfortable saying, you can stick around, kid, and we're going to go find our quarterback, hopefully in this draft. But we're going to sit him, we're going to give him a year to learn everything, and you're going to continue to be our quarterback until he's ready.
You know what else Scott Mitchell brought you? A revolt in the locker room.
That is also true.
Right. So I wouldn't put Scott Mitchell up there.
I know, but the example I'm using it is you won a division with him. Right?
Yeah, but you pissed off Barry Sanders and he wanted to retire.
I understand, but in context, you won the division with an average quarterback. He wasn't a world beater. He wasn't your quote-unquote franchise quarterback in the 90s, right? In the NFL, you can win with average. Joe Flacco, Jimmy Garoppolo, you can win with the middle-of-the-pack guys. There's nothing wrong with them. They're capable.
You have the roster.
The difference between the middle-of-the-pack guys and the elite guys is the elite guys are elite almost every week. The middle-of-the-pack guys play elite some weeks, play good some weeks, play average some weeks, and play really bad other weeks. They're just always up and down. You never get the same thing. And usually the higher tier of middle of the pack, like a Jimmy Garoppolo, they give you that almost good consistently, right? They're never awfully bad where they're going to lose you a game. And you can win in the NFL with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So I am happy with Jared Goff as a bridge quarterback for this franchise. I just don't want to hear that we have this franchise quarterback expectation of him. I think that's ridiculous.
No, I don't know how. Well, there's always somebody saying something like that, but I think the conventional wisdom is he is a bridge quarterback. Now, the dangerous thing and is that he plays well this season, and the Lions said, you know what, he's not our bridge quarterback, he's our guy. I don't if the idea is to win division titles and to win multiple playoff games, to challenge for a championship, I'm not certain the Lions would be able to do it with this guy. So it would be a dangerous thing if he comes in this season and you say, hey man, this guy's really good, maybe you should pay him $40 million. That is where the Lions could get in trouble, because he ain't worth it, and he's not going to deliver
again. And that's fine. I don't care. I don't need Goff to be elite. Jared Goff, if I told you, I'll tell you exactly how the season plays out. Let's say he plays all 17 games. There will be 2, at most 3 games that Jared Goff plays where his stat line, his play looks like an elite top 7, top 8 quarterback. Only 2 or 3 games. The rest of the season is going to be somewhere between above average, average, and below average. Why? Because that's what he is. That's the group of quarterbacks he identifies with at the moment. Until he goes out there and does something which I don't expect him to do, that's his reality. He is an average quarterback, and you can win with average in the NFL. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, Terry, I have some exciting news for you regarding Ben Johnson. And I think Ben Johnson is in pole position to be the next Zach Taylor, Matt LaFleur, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, in terms of offensive minds in the game that are young.
Funny you should mention him. I've got a critical question. It's going to make you go, ooh, boy, I don't know.
All right.
What about your boy Ben Johnson?
You know
you
what?
love him.
I don't know the question, but I'm going to tell you from now. I know what it is. I really do. And I would tell you from now, yes, I absolutely make that decision if I have to.
Okay.
But we'll get to that in a little bit when we get back. Before we go, Maddie, our good friends at the Sports Marketing Agency.
The Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This Is the F Word, speaks on fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsmade.com if you are struggling or know someone who is, and let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
If you are looking for something fun to do this week or this weekend, look no further than the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. That is home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. They've got 2 ways to play, $12 open unlimited play, or you can reserve a private lane for just $120. Don't forget, of course, they have a $2 mystery beer machine as well as multiple full bars. So check it out at thefoalingwarehouse.com.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. You guys know, all of you in the chat, I do appreciate you tuning in every morning. And I'm not going to single out any one of you specifically, but you know who you are. Any of you comparing in any concept, any form, any way of Jared Goff to Tim Tebow.
I noticed that too.
You are what's wrong with society. You are what's wrong with society. You have an IQ probably under 15. You're in the Alavila ballpark in terms of knowledge. Just do me a favor.
I don't think these people know how bad Tim Tebow was. He would, you know what?
I don't even want to get into it.
He would make one throw that was impactful.
You know what would happen?
And win the game 14-10.
This is exactly what would happen. Tim Tebow would suck donkey dick for 3.5 quarters. And then on the sideline, once 4 or 5 minutes are left in the game and his defense has done all the work to keep them in the game,
bam,
he gets on his knees, prays to God. All right, God, I'm going to need you here. Just, please, God, let me complete one pass. And then Tim Tebow and his ugly lefty ass drops back to pass. And he throws a fumble of a football. And it somehow finds a wide receiver, and they win the game. They win the game.
But they win the game 14-10.
Yep.
If you're asking him to win a game 31-28, he can't do it.
I can't with the Tim Tebow, Jared Goff. The fact, just shut the hell up. We're going to move on. Ben Johnson, Terry. Ben Johnson, and this was quoted by Corey Woods yesterday. We had him on the show. He said, Ben Johnson, if you look at last season, Anthony Lynn was non-existent in terms of communication and presence on the practice field during training camp. Non-existent. And Ben Johnson is quite the opposite. Over-communicator. High energy. Lots of creativity. I mean, that for me is all the signals of what you need to be in today's NFL, right? How does Sean McVay handle a locker room with Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Andrew Whitworth last season, Matthew Stafford, Odell Beckham? How do they do that? How? One, he has the support, obviously, of his leadership group, but two, high energy, high level of communication skills. For me, Ben Johnson has... You're checking all the boxes with Ben Johnson right now. Now, you need to see it on the field this year with him as the OC for the first time. But he is checking off all the boxes that I die for when I look for an offensive coordinator.
Ready
I need
for
high
my
energy.
question, Brohammer?
Go ahead.
Question is this. Who would you have calling the plays? Ben Johnson or Dan Campbell?
Ben Johnson, hands down. You know what I thought you were going to ask me?
What?
Going into the break? I thought you were going to ask me if it doesn't work with Dan Campbell.
Oh.
Do you look at Ben Johnson? And I think absolutely. Look, guys. I mean, I don't mean to drag and. This isn't even a knock on Dan. I'm rooting for Dan Campbell, but let's say it doesn't work out. Okay, where's the NFL going right now? You guys tell me. Division winners in the AFC North last season. Anybody? Cincinnati. Who's their head coach? Young Zach Taylor. Young Matt LaFleur in the NFC North. The AFC South? Frank Reich, I believe. No, the Colts didn't. Who won the division last year in the AFC South? Oh, God, it's slipping me now. Not the Jaguars, not the Texans, not the Colts. Who the hell was it? Why am I missing the third team in the division? Or the fourth team? Holy hell. Regardless, moving on. The NFC South. Brady and the Bucks. Whatever, we're going to look past it. Andy Reid, one of the greatest offensive-minded coaches in all of football. You go to the NFC West. Sean McVay and the Rams, young offensive-minded coach.
And Tom Brady's probably older than many of
Sean
the coaches
McVay.
that won the division.
Probably. You look at the NFC East, Mike McCarthy, but Dan Campbell. Mike McCarthy. You see Dak Prescott, Kellen Moore on the sidelines as a young OC. You go to the AFC East, Josh Allen, Sean McDermott. Now, McDermott is a defensive-minded coach, but they had Brian Dabble last year. Young, offensive-minded coach who just got a job with the Giants. The young Kevin O'Connell. Nathaniel Hackett in Denver. Brian Dabble. That's where the league is going. And if for any reason it doesn't work out with Dan, you got a kid in the building. And I promise you, for any reason it all goes to hell, and you have the opportunity to get him, you do it. If you don't, I'm telling you now, he's probably going to get a job in 2 years. He's probably going to get a job because that's what every team is looking for. The young, up-and-coming, offensive-minded coach with high communication skills, high energy, that remind them of a Kyle Shanahan, of a Sean McVay, now Matt LaFleur, Zach Taylor. That's what you want molded.
Do you know what every coach says?
What's that?
That my door is open for players. And guess what? A lot of those guys who say that, their door is actually closed to players. They don't want to talk to them. And that's been one of the problems with the Lions. Every coach, my door is open, player comes in, door's closed. I do believe Dan Campbell when he says his door is open, his door is open. And Ben Johnson, his door will be open.
Same with McVay. Same
Right.
with Kyle. Looted corpse. I have no idea who you are. Ben Johnson isn't a talent. Quote, he's friends with MCDC. Hey, dumb fuck. Just so you know, Ben Johnson was working there before Dan Campbell. Just so you know. Just kind of something you should probably know before you say something stupid like that. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
We're just saying.
Terry, I think you agree. The league is going in that offensive direction. I
No,
mean,
it's
look
there.
at. I mean, it'll continue. I think, especially at the coaching level, now it's more than ever, right?
Well, that's why I didn't want them to hire Patricia, because he's more a defensive-minded coach. He's only been in one system. To me, that was a red flag. Forget the fact that he's an ass, but defensive-minded coach in one system. No, that's a no for me. The trend was already set then that these offensive-minded coaches are the ones that are already taking over the league.
Looted corpse is on one today. Well, yeah, let's not place the inexperienced coaches get their start. That's not success. Hey, dipshit. How about you go back to the Washington Redskins at the time, where they had Kyle Shanahan, Matt LaFleur, and Sean McVay all in the same building. And you know what they did? They chose the experienced Jay Gruden over potentially 3 Hall of Fame head coaches. Do me a favor. Shut the fuck up. And let's continue on.
No, who else did that? The Lions had a young assistant coach that they kept passing over because he didn't quote unquote, didn't communicate well. You know who that guy was? Don Shula. He was with the Lions before the Miami Dolphins. They also had Jerry Venisi, who was passed over for a front office job because, I don't know why, but he went to Chicago and won a Super Bowl for the Bears. He was the Lions' property before he went to the Lions, to the Bears.
That's insane. And look, you didn't know Kyle Shanahan who he's going to be. You didn't know Sean McVay, right? You didn't know Matt LaFleur, right?
Right, but they're
Washington
in your building,
had all 3 of them in the
know.
building, and they didn't know.
You should know.
And you're going to tell me about Ben Johnson, who now is getting his first opportunity as an OC. And if he has a very good season, and Jared Goff looks exponentially better, and let's say Goff plays the entire season like he played down the stretch, well, Ben Johnson's probably getting a job, and you're going to lose him. Because if I'm a GM, and I just take a job somewhere, and I'm looking to rebuild the team, and I have a young quarterback, right? I'm looking at Ben Johnson as one of my primary candidates, along with the individual Byron Leftwich out in Tampa Bay. I'm looking at Kellen Moore. That's my short list. You know what they all have in common? They're young, inexperienced offensive coordinators with 0 head coaching experience. That's where the league is going, and that's where all the success in the league is coming from. Sean McVay, 0 head coaching experience. Walks in, 2 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years. Kyle Shanahan, 0 head coaching experience. Only OC experiences. Was the OC in Atlanta. Gets to San Francisco, turns it around. Matt LaFleur, 0 coaching experience outside of being an OC under Sean McVay. What happens? 13 wins, 2 NFC titles in all 3 years. Excuse me, NFC championship appearances. Excuse me. A little ahead of myself there.
Bam,
Shut up. That is where the league is going.
Yeah, and if they're in your building, you should be able to identify that talent. The Lions, look, maybe you're wrong about Ben Johnson, but the Lions should be able to look at Ben Johnson and identify him as a potential head coach prospect or not. Because he's in the building, they know what he's doing, they know exactly what he's contributing to this game plan. So they should be able to know. And plus, when you're a head coach, a lot of times you're managing people, you're managing, OCs and assistant coaches and making sure they're doing their job. And some head coaches are more hands-on and some are more hands-off. But they know how to maneuver a staff. And you can do that as a young guy without much experience.
Absolutely. You just have to earn the respect of the locker room. And the way you do that is by communication, showing you're committed, showing you can help them improve, and every player will buy in if they believe they can grow with you as their coach.
And don't lie.
And don't lie to them, absolutely.
You
We're
lie
gonna
to
take,
them, you dead.
Oh, yeah, you're dead meat. We'll take a break. When we get back, I do want to touch on the Deshaun Watson news and also Michigan State landing a 4-star shooting guard. They now have the number 3 ranked recruiting class in college basketball. Good for Michigan State. So happy for Izzo. We'll get to all that in just a bit. But before we do, I got to tell you where I'm going to get my haircut and my beard taken care of today. And that's at a Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Get to a Lady Jane's near you. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. They're awesome stylists. Will take care of you like they take care of me. Get to a Lady Jane's near you. Again, no appointment necessary. Lady Jane's. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for all of your game day bets. Play-by-play updates, live scores, and the best price on every game from multiple sports books. Go to OddsTrader.com right now or download their app from the App Store today for your best bet.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Terry, Deshaun Watson, suspended 6 games, and I've had to do a lot of thinking about this because I think it's easy to get caught up in the moment and really not understand what's going on. So I do want to have this conversation with you, and you tell me if I'm not seeing the full picture. I like to think I am, but I'm always open to learning something new.
Okay, I'm glad you are willing to do that.
So I don't like the fact that the NFL has gone to this arbitrator or this judge, right, and is allowing her to make the decision on a player from their league. And one of the things that bothers the hell out of me is whether it was only 4 of the women were only brought into evidence, whatever the reports were, Terry, at the end of the day, whether he did it or not, I don't want to say I don't care, because it's disgusting. And 24 women don't just randomly decide to claim you did something. Fair?
Fair.
Where there's smoke, there's fire. Having said that, though, there was a settlement. So legally, at least legally, this is none of my business anymore. Not that I don't care, it's irrelevant to me. But as the NFL, when you've had situations before like a Ray Rice situation, right? Kareem Hunt, Greg Hardy, you've had instances, Ben Roethlisberger. When do you stand up and say, you know what, we're not going to tolerate this? And this wasn't a public trial where he was convicted or found innocent. This was a settlement, hush-hush, sign off, pays them off. The story's not going to come out. And I find it hard that, yes, it's 6 games. Is it ignorant to say that, well, last season he sat out and that should be part of a suspension? You know what? Maybe it is. And maybe it shouldn't be applied towards this year. But Terry, I want to know, for at least the women watching the sport, because there's a good portion of women that watch the NFL, how do I justify it where I can tell you, hey, look, we're going to let him back in the league and we're only going to suspend him 6 games, when I don't think the Calvin Ridley situation is relevant, so I'm not going to bring it up. But Kareem Hunt, on video does what he does. Ray Rice on video does what he does. And those were nothing. And this is another case of the NFL not being prepared with policies. I find it difficult. And how do you suspend a guy? Right? You can't suspend him for the allegations. You can't do that. But what you can suspend him for is under the player conduct policy, right?
Yes.
A player that has brought the NFL's brand and image into a bad light, right? He has violated that code. And for it to only be 6, I thought it was fair Monday. I've really spent the last few days thinking about this and reading more into the situation. It's tough to convince me that you don't give him more than 6 games, let alone even the whole season, after reading what I have read and looking at the history of the NFL and player conduct violations and indefinite suspensions for players like Josh Gordon. This is a tricky one for me. It really is.
It is tricky, but it's, you know, I just go back to the NFL. When you, in comparison, do you want your star players out there, or do you care about the welfare of women? I think what's most important for the NFL is getting their star players out there. Now, the NFL wanted the whole wanted to give Deshaun Watson the entire season. The arbitrator disagreed with that. So I don't know if the arbitrator was thinking last year was a suspension plus 6 games. So in essence, I'm giving him 23 games. But the NFL was thinking he was suspended last year and he'll be suspended this year. He'll come back in 2023.
Am I fair to say that I think the outrage, the general outrage, not only from women but people in the sport in general, is that how do we not have policies in place for this, right? So how does the NFL not have a sexual allegations policy, right? So let's say you are an individual and somebody accuses you of a sexual assault or whatever it may be. How does the NFL go about that, right? Do they indefinitely suspend you until the case is resolved, which I think it's quite unfair, or do they wait for it to play out and then make a decision from there? But either way, the second you are accused of anything, you are an immediate violation of the NFL's player code of conduct policy. You're already violating that rule. So I don't know. I don't have a solution for Deshaun Watson. I really don't. And I don't think you guys do either. I'm not sure what the solution is outside of the NFL taking full responsibility and control for a situation like this, and to allow him to get trade and get a fully guaranteed contract, but set his salary at $1 million this year, expecting the suspension. That's tough for me to swallow. I mean, Rachel Bonnetta had, was on, I forget where it was. She was at camp somewhere, and she's a Cleveland Browns fan, and she was frustrated. And that really opened my eyes a little bit to, well, what the hell are we doing? I don't think we've accomplished or solved anything from this case. Those women agreed to settle. That's on them and Deshaun and their lawyers. I really don't want to involve myself with that. I'm not going to say he said, she said. But, Terry, let's just say you were accused of sexual assault by 34 women. All right? Mm-hmm. And it comes out tomorrow. Breaking news. You're going to have to take some time off, dude. You're going to have to figure out what the hell's going on.
It's true.
And for any reason, you settle. And let's say you've been off for 2-3 months. Well, we're going to have to suspend you in some sort because, well, you just brought a bad light to the network, right?
Right.
So you can't come back right away. And I think 6 games for Deshaun is, as of today,
do you know how many times I've been
tune.
accused of sexual assault in my life?
I'm glad.
0.
I'm glad you haven't.
Because I never have. But I think the embarrassing thing about this, let's forget the suspensions and everything. The embarrassing thing happened last year. Here is a guy accused by 25, 30 women of sexual assault. Then you make him the highest paid quarterback in the league. And I don't care if it was for 15 minutes. You decided we're going to give him $250 million. That sends a bad message.
Thank you. And I think that's part of the outrage, too, is you allow the trade, you allow the fully guaranteed contract, and you allow them to pivot where they knew when they gave him $1 million contract for the year. So he wasn't missing out on much. That's
almost like the league saying, bro, these women, we're gonna shut them up. I got your back, Deshaun. I got your back, brother. We'll go through this thing. We're gonna pay you $238 million. Just hang with me.
So, like Mike Vick, for example, right? Mike Vick was convicted of animal abuse and a few other things, and he did time in jail, and he came back to the league, and he was suspended originally, and then he had to apply to be allowed back in the league, and he served his time. And with Deshaun, again, he wasn't convicted of sexual assault. We have to understand that. We have to respect it. That's our legal system. They settled. But what kind of message are you sending when you allow this? I don't have a solution. I wish I did. I wish I could bring more to the table. I'm asking questions this morning because I'm hoping to learn more. So maybe I can offer something. But right now I have nothing but questions.
And you have questions because none of us know. None of us know the inner workings of the NFL. Now, we have our suspicions. When you look at the history of the league wants their star players on the field. The league has a history of saying, the hell with women. I think the league believes women make this stuff up. At least it acts like women make this stuff up. But 24, 30?
Again,
I don't know, bro.
I don't know. It's not my business to know. They agreed to settle. So whatever truth or non-truth evidence was involved in that case is irrelevant to me right now. But what is relevant is this was ongoing. This was a thing for over a year and a half, almost 2 years. And you know what? 6 games doesn't look like enough to me right now. Just doesn't. We'll take a quick break. When we get back, we got some fun stuff to talk about. Lou Whitaker Day on Saturday as well, I believe. So
it is.
That'll be a good day. Should he be in the Hall of Fame? It's a whole different conversation.
I believe so.
But we'll get to that and more in just a sec. Before we do, Maddie, our good friends at Cintron.
Cintron is the official energy drink of the Detroit Red Wings, and they've now combined all 3 of their delicious flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler. Try Cintron's great tasting cranberry, classic, and sugar-free all in 1 pack. Pre-order today at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Get energized with Cintron. Let's go Red Wings.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Open all summer long, Memorial Day to Labor Day. There will be basketball courts, roller skating, mini golf, art installations, live music, food trucks, and much, much, much more. Free Wi-Fi so you can work from the park, get downtown, and enjoy the Monroe Street Midway. Summer is better at the Monroe Street Midway. We're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Terry, pickleball?
Yes.
Help me understand.
Have you not heard of pickleball?
No, I haven't.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Here's
No, I
another
swear.
sport you've never heard of.
You never heard of it?
Yikes.
Okay.
My head
But that shouldn't surprise us. He hasn't
No,
heard
it
of Coney
shouldn't,
dogs.
but-
He hasn't heard of Belle Isle.
It
He hasn't
does.
heard of a lot of things.
No.
I've never played pickleball. People have been trying to get me to play for like 3 or 4, 2
What
or
is it,
3
like
years.
wiffle ball?
It's
No.
like tennis.
Yeah, it's
but
mini
it's with
tennis,
a wiffle ball.
basically, yeah.
What?
It's mini tennis. It's got
Right.
wood square paddles, and you hit a wiffle ball, and you hit it over a net, and you can't cross a certain line, right?
I don't know the rules of
Oh.
wiffle ball because I have not played. But there's something
Yeah, you can't cross like the
close to the
front
net.
of the net.
I'm
yeah.
not sure what that is. Can you not hit that area close to the net?
No, you can hit it. You just can't. You gotta reach for it. You can't stand inside.
Oh,
of
you
the-
can't stand inside of it,
Yeah,
but you can
inside
hit.
of the
Okay, I
box,
get you.
Yeah.
So it's supposedly it's the sport. Like I played tennis a lot, but it's the sport for older
Yeah, old
people like
people,
me
yeah.
who.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have bad knees, but if I had bad knees and a bad back, or
Which is funny because they're playing off a wiffle ball. If you use common sense, a tennis ball bounces higher than a wiffle ball. So you'd think that.
yeah, but you got to run more in tennis.
Yeah,
You
well,
got to dig in the corners.
Yeah, but in wiffle ball, that ball's not bouncing more than like 2 feet. So if you're old, you gotta reach down there. Oh, your knee's gonna buckle.
But you don't have to go far. I think the key
Okay,
is
I guess so.
when you get older, you can't travel as fast, you can't travel as far. So it is the fastest growing sport in the nation.
Yeah, I have heard that.
And I think that's mostly because of people who are 50 and over.
You mostly play doubles too, right? I don't know if
Right.
I've seen singles. Yeah.
I see singles sometimes,
Do you?
and
Okay.
mostly it's doubles.
Yeah, that helps.
So that's a sport we're all supposed to pick up at some point.
Yeah.
I'll pass on that.
Go
I'd
back.
rather just play tennis.
Yeah, it's not a
But
bad sport.
What
but-
about when your knees give out and you got a bad back and your eyesight is kind of messed up?
Well, he's stubborn. He's gonna play tennis regardless.
Well, you could play tennis. You could play tennis at an older age, especially doubles. You don't have to
Yeah.
run that much for doubles. Sometimes you do.
I was an awful doubles player in high school, Terry.
Was because you were selfish?
I was
or?
very selfish. Yeah. I
Did you
hated
want
doubles.
every ball?
Yeah, he
I
run
wanted every
halfway
ball.
down the
Yeah,
court.
I was a much better singles player. So when coach moved me to singles, that was a good move.
You win any trophies?
No. No, I did get to the the district? Was it the district or state? I don't know.
Oh, that's pretty
Semifinal.
good.
Oh, didn't you play the girl that beat you?
That was my first ever game of tennis. So my introduction of varsity tennis as a freshman was I played a girl from Divine Child.
Ah.
And she whooped my ass.
Yikes.
She was good, man. She was really good.
Did you not get a point?
I didn't get a set on her. I did get a few games, but
Okay.
she kicked my ass. Terry, Lou Whitaker Day Saturday. Should he be a Hall of Famer? And why hasn't he been inducted yet?
Well, what happened with Lou Whitaker when he was eligible for the Hall of Fame, he only got 2.9% of the vote. So then he's kicked off the regular Hall of Fame ballot. So now he's got to get in through the Veterans Committee or whatever it's called. In 2019, he was up for that. Didn't get in. He'll be up for it again in 2023. Now, what is helping Lou Whitaker now is metrics. And when you look at second baseman, Lou Whitaker has a better WAR than 15 second basemen already in the Hall of Fame. When you look at Lou Whitaker, he's already in that range of second baseman. When you look at second base, most of them batted between 260 and 280 who made the Hall of Fame. You know, they all had over 2,000 hits. Lou Whitaker has 2,319 hits. I think the thing that hurts, there's a couple of things that hurt Lou Whitaker. One, he doesn't play in New York. He doesn't play in Boston. When he was a player, he was standoffish. Writers didn't really get to know them. But that's not a reason not to vote for a guy. But that's pretty much what happened.
2,000 plus hits, 400 plus doubles,
Mm-hmm.
1,000 plus walks, an OPS almost 800.
On base percentage of 363.
Rookie of the Year.
Right.
5-time All-Star.
4 Golden Gloves. I thought he would have won more than 4 Golden Gloves, but the great thing about him was how fluid he was as a fielder. Let's forget metrics. Let's forget numbers. Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker, the best double play combination in the history of baseball. When I hear that, I'm thinking Hall of Fame for both of them. I think this is, we have the Detroit versus everybody thing, and sometimes it pisses me off. But I think this is a case where if he played, there's a guy named Joe Gordon. Joe Gordon batted .260. He had 22 more home runs than Lou Whitaker. He had 200 RBIs fewer than Lou Whitaker. He didn't get in right away, but he got in on the Veterans Committee in 2019. He's in the Hall of Fame. Joe Morgan has similar stats to Lou Whitaker, but what's the difference? He did backflips, and he was showy, and he was flashy, and he made it in. The guy, Joe Gordon, I was telling you about, he played for the New York Yankees. He had worse stats than Lou Whitaker, but he played for the Yankees, and he had the nickname of Flash. Lou Whitaker, even when he was at his best as a fielder, you never noticed. You never noticed him because he was so fluid. He didn't do things flashy. He was not on highlight plays. He just turned that double play, and he had one of the highest fielding percentages of any second baseman.
Fair enough. Well, Lou Whitaker Day this Saturday at Comerica Park should be a good event. We'll take a break when we get back. Mailbag, so get all of your questions in the chat. But before we do, Maddie, the best defense on and off the baseball field.
Yes, that would be Guardian Alarm. And summertime is here, which means spending more time outside. Let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind while you're out enjoying the sunshine. Just give them a call at 1-800-STAY-OUT today. And you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT right now.
Stay out.
And let them know that Woodward Sports sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
When you need apparel, there is no place to go except for Big Frog in Novi. And guess what? Today must be your lucky day because they are still giving away free Woodward Sports t-shirts. That's right, I said it. Free Woodward Sports t-shirts. All you gotta do is head on over to Big Frog in Novi. Tell them we sent you and they will print you one on the spot. So get there today, or you can visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Get your questions in the chat for Mailbag. Adam, if your car broke down and you needed a ride home, would you trust Terry or Fish?
I like that I wasn't part of this because nobody trusts me.
I know the answer. It's me.
I'm going to say you, yeah, 100%. Terry would hook me up. Fish would either be busy on his yacht in the golf course, or he's stuffing his face with one of those big ass Oreo ice creams that he always eats.
I mean, they are good as hell.
Or chicken tenders and
Or
french
chicken
fries.
tenders and
How do
fries.
you
So
not?
Terry,
Here's
so
other,
here's
my
how it
car is
happened.
clean too.
If I call
right now.
Fish, he'll answer the phone. Hey, Adam. Oh, your car broke down? I'm busy at the moment.
You'd be like, well, what do
Why
you
don't
want me to do about
Why
it?
don't you call AAA? Goodbye.
No,
At least he gave you advice.
I would stop what I'm doing and pick you up.
Oh, God.
I'd be a nice person.
Oh, God. Adam, are you really going to be Harbaugh for Halloween? Absolutely, Jack. I'm debating between Harbaugh and Avila. If Al Avila's still in the job, it'll be Avila. If he's not there, hopefully he's not, then I'll dress up as Harbaugh. Absolutely.
Now, will you dress up as Harbaugh if he names J.J. McCarthy the starting quarterback?
If he names J.J. McCarthy the starting quarterback, I mean,
you'll be nice to him.
he's going to earn a lot of brownie points with me. Adam, did you see DeGrom's first pitch last night? 13 months since he last pitched in the big. Steps up on the mound. First pitch, 102. An easy 102 at that. Yeah, DeGrom is... He's got stuff, man. He's got some awesome stuff. Adam, it's fantasy season. Who are you taking for your quarterback one this year? That's so hard to say. So I have the number 1 overall pick in my fantasy league, and I'm not interested in taking a quarterback in the first 2-3 rounds. I'm just not. Let alone even the 4th or 5th.
But you got to have a quarterback.
Yes, but so I'll put it this way to answer it. If I'm not going to take a quarterback at all, and I'm going to wait till the very end, I'm taking Derek Carr. That's my guy. That's my guy this year. I think is going to be a hell of a fantasy quarterback. Now, if I need to commit to one in the 3rd, 4th round, well, we're looking at a Jalen Hurts. We're looking at a Dak Prescott. We're looking at possibly if he falls. If he falls, it could be. It could be Joe Burrow. I don't know. It depends on the league you're in. I'm in a 10-man league, so who knows? But, Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, those are guys that are going to go within the first 2 or 3 rounds. That's going to happen. Probably round 3, realistically, but we'll see.
But you're going to pick yours up in the 4th or 5th round.
I'm going to wait till later than that. Yeah, I can get Matthew Stafford later on. I can get Derek Carr later on. You don't win, typically, your leagues unless your quarterback has thrown 40-plus touchdowns and 4,800 yards plus. And the only quarterbacks to do that last year was, just Tom Brady. And I want to say Justin Herbert was close but didn't have the touchdown. So, yeah, look, we'll see.
And quarterback is tricky because you sort of have to pick up a guy that's on a team that's not very good.
Yes, because garbage time.
he's gonna be throwing. He'll get 2 garbage quarterbacks.
Yep. I like Lamar Jackson
and lose 48-28.
Yep. I like Lamar Jackson too. Jalen Hurts this year, the running quarterbacks, but I'm staying away from Kyler Murray. I'm hands off on Kyler Murray this year. Not interested. Let's see what other questions we have. Maddie, what's your favorite kind of beer?
My favorite beer?
Mm-hmm.
I'm entitled to say Miller Lite because I am a Miller, but Blue Light is my favorite beer.
Okay.
Well, in that regard, then my favorite beer is Foster's. But it's not.
I like Miller Lite. It's always stocked at my house.
Okay. Fair enough. Maddie and Fish, who's more of a softball hard do? I don't know what that means. Adam or Stick? Any idea what the hell that means? What does that mean?
I think he means like a go hard.
Okay.
I would say Stick.
That's fair.
Like you are too, but you'll miss games for work. Stick will not.
That's fair. That is very fair. All right, what other questions do we have in the chat today? Why Lamar and not Kyler? Because, Anthony, Lamar will have a much better backfield this year. The team is much healthier. They'll have a good defense. I think Baltimore is going to make a run at the North and the AFC. Having said that, Kyler Murray is going to miss DeAndre Hopkins, I believe, for the first 6 weeks of the season. They lost Christian Kirk. He's throwing the ball to Rondell Moore and Marquise Brown, who couldn't catch a ball last season.
But he's going to be in his playbook more this year.
Probably.
I don't know if that's going to help any.
Probably. He's getting Stafford, don't lie. No, I mean, I've done so many mocks. I've gotten Hurts, Carr, Stafford. I've even taken Herbert early before just because he was on the board. But it really depends on the board. I really can't tell you I'm set on a quarterback. I'm not. Quarterback is like the one position I'm not even worried about this year in fantasy. I need to get my running backs first, I need to get my wide receivers, and I'll worry about the rest after. All right, let's see what else we got. Adam, are you still liking K9 for Rookie of the Year? See what happens with Rashad Penny, but I think it's going to be hard for Kenneth Walker to win Rookie of the Year if Najee Harris didn't win it last year. Wait. Yeah, I think I said that correctly, right? Offensive Rookie of the Year last year was... Wait, was it Najee, actually? I might be losing my mind. No. Sorry, guys. We're going to find out right now. It was Jamar Chase, yeah. So, wide receivers this year. They're gonna show out. You have Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave, a lot of first-round wide receivers. You only have one first-round quarterback, so I would put my money K9 finishes in the top 5, but Rashad Penny just needs to go away. He needs to get 230, 240 carries and about 60, 65 receptions.
Doesn't Penny kind of disappear every year?
He's always
anyway?
hurt, but when he plays,
Right.
he's fantastic. Rashad Penny's very weird. Adam, do you swear when you play baseball? Absolutely, Steve. I'm always swearing. How do you feel about Fields in fantasy? I don't know what to think of Justin Fields. Red zone threat, love him. Right? He's a guy that can carry the ball in. Doesn't always have to go to Montgomery, right? But, I mean, look at who he's playing with. Russell Wilson's a sneaky pick. Yeah, I don't know about that. Melvin Gordon, Javonte Williams, they're going to be run committed this year behind with Nathaniel Hackett. They're going to commit to running the ball and throwing the ball to those running backs. Especially at the goal line, they're probably going to be running it. But, like you said, low-key under the radar, I would agree with Wilson. I wouldn't take him, though, unless I had Jerry Jeudy on my
Justin
team.
Field, I don't know if I would take him in fantasy, but he's going to be better this year. He's actually going to get coaching, which he didn't get before.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, it's past 10,
down on the
guys. Sorry, we
show.
went over a bit. We got to get out of here. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see all of you tomorrow. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be lighting up a lot of smokes, and the Rats win both their games tonight.
because you're going for 13
Trying to make it 11 in a row, baby.
11 in a row, all right.
We're going to make it 11 in a row tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay, we're counting both games.